Welcome back to Entrepreneurs LGBTQ International, and now we're with Darrell Schuurman. He is the CEO from the Canadian Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce. Darrell, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's not summer, but we are doing good in this side of the world.
Well, it is up here, so we're doing okay as well.
I'm glad. I'm glad. This is the time that we need some sun that lift our spirits.
I know. Well, and since we can't be inside, at least we're able to be like enjoying the time outside. So it's great.
Exactly. Darrell, tell us what the Chamber of Commerce, the Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce, do for the Canadians, companies, and entrepreneurs.
Yeah. So I'll give you. Thank you for that, and I'll give you a little bit of background on the chamber. So we actually formed 17 years ago. So we've been around for a few years. And our mandate when we started was really to support LGBT entrepreneurs, helping them to grow and succeed, and at the end of the day, really helping to economically empower them to, our vision overall is to create a thriving, inclusive economy here in Canada. And so that means making sure that we're giving as many opportunities for Canadian businesses to compete and be part of that as possible. So we basically do that through a few different program areas, and at the end of the day, it's all tied into helping to create connections, helping to connect our LGBT businesses with our corporate partners and with each other. So, everything that we do is all around helping to make those connections. So our core program and the way that we do that is with an initiative called Supplier Diversity. So we act as a certifying body for LGBT-owned businesses. So if you're a Canadian business and you're majority owned by LGBT individuals, we can certify you. And then with that, we help to connect you with corporate Canada, who's looking to basically procure goods and services from LGBT-owned businesses. So it's a great way for LGBT companies to start to access some of those corporate procurement opportunities. So that's really our core program area.
Yes, and let me mention one thing. You few weeks or about a couple months ago, you had your conference virtually this year.
Yeah. So it was our annual LGBT Business Summit, and this was given the fact that we're in the height of COVID, and we had to pivot, and so we took our normally our 2-day in-person conference, and we made it into a 5-day virtual event, and it really was an event. Like it had our summits always really we kind of look at it in two kind of pillars really. It's the education, so providing education and helping to support the development of our businesses, but it's also around making those connections and trying to facilitate the networking. So we took those two elements and I think successfully we brought it online, and we did a virtual event which had over 800 people from around the world tune in and be part of that. And you were one of them. You were right there with us, right? So
I was
thank
there
you for being a part of that.
I was there. I was really happy that I got the emails that alerted me. So yeah, I signed up right away. I was really impressed, and these programs, this one and the previous one that we were talking a few minutes ago, the Spanish version. Actually, I think part of the idea that came to my mind was after actually saw your summit. So thank you for that. It was an amazing experience virtually. I don't know how long it takes you to put all together, but it was so flawless and everything was so good that I have to, thank you for all the other 800 people that it was watching. It was amazing, and I had some little time to connect with people that we met together in other conferences.
Good. Well, and see, that's the important piece, because the unfortunate thing because of the pandemic, we haven't been able to foster those in-person relationships. And so, that was really an important piece for us, is how do we continue to, bring our community together, and, to support each other, but at the end of the day, we're a business organization. And so our hope is to bring these people together and to do business. And so I think that was hopefully achieved through the summit. But you're right, it was a lot of work, and we couldn't have done it without the support of my amazing team and also our corporate partners who really stood behind us and supported us with that event. You know, our corporate partners basically keep our organization alive, and so we're really thankful that they stood behind us, and we're supportive of our transition from a in-person to a virtual event.
Tell me one thing. Well, I'm in Peru, of course. I cannot apply to be part of your chamber. But if I were Canadian and I have my company there in Canada, no matter where in Canada, how difficult is to be part of the chamber? How can I sign up my company with you?
Yeah, well, so we actually have a couple different streams. So I talked about the certification that we have. So that is really the most rigorous process. And to be part of, or to become a Canadian certified LGBT business, you have to be a Canadian resident. You have to have the business has to be residing in Canada. And most importantly, it has to be, again, 51% owned, operated, and controlled by LGBT individuals. So, so the process to become a certified business certainly is very rigorous, but we have other mechanisms in place to allow other businesses to be part of the chamber, because we have a lot of value that we can provide to businesses that may not qualify or interested in certifying. So we have just a basic membership that any business, any individual can sign up, and it's a small monthly fee, and then they get to be part of the organization and take advantage of all that we have to offer.
Awesome. Yeah. So what's the website where they can refer to see all these details?
Yeah. So our website is www.cglcc.ca.
Okay. So, if you're in Canada, your business is based in Canada, you gotta go to that website, and it's going to be in the details of our YouTube channel, all these links. Is there any other event from the chamber coming up?
Well, so we do two large signature events. So we talked about our summit that we did in June. Our other big event always takes place in November. It's our big gala, our Black and White Gala. And, again, unfortunately, this year we're having to shake things up a little bit. So we're taking it also online. And so it's going to be a virtual gala event. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Our gala is always a way to celebrate our achievements within the LGBT community, celebrate our leaders and our allies, and so we're keeping with, we're just taking it online. So we're going to have some really recognizing some great leaders, recognizing some our LGBT business community from across the country, but we're also going to be having a little bit of fun, and we're going to have some great entertainment, and it'll be worth tuning in for. So that's November 5th. November 5th, yeah. So
put it in your calendars, people. November 5th.
It's always a good event, so you don't want to miss it.
I won't.
Good.
I'm going to be there virtually.
Good, love it. Well, and there'll be requirements if you're going to tune in. There'll be some requirements. So yeah.
Okay.
Be prepared.
We're gonna stay tuned for those requirements and everything to actually always support to our chambers, because the Canadian Chamber is also affiliated to the American Chamber, the NGLCC, like the global partners. We have chambers around South America, and I know that they mentioned Japan just entered to that conglomerate of other chambers. So the Colombians, Uruguay, Mexico. So we are all, one voice for our LGBT community.
Yeah, and I think that's it's so powerful that the more that we can come together and, as you say, be one voice. You know, the global network, I think now is, I've lost count. I think it's over 15 different countries around the world. And, you know, it's so amazing that we're able to support each other, reach out and be there. And, you know, it's not only for our organizations, but at the end of the day, it's for our businesses in our respective countries to be able to, for us to be able to connect our businesses with organizations around the world. And I know that one of our certified suppliers, one of our businesses, you've had some conversations with him. So, you know, it's just great to see that, you know, those global connections are being made as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, tell me one thing, and this is not about the chamber, because when I was in Canada last year in Vancouver, first of all, I fall in love of Vancouver. Yeah. Second, I am a fan of going to a supermarket. So I bought a lot of stuff from supermarket that I cannot get in Peru, and especially some products that actually has the maple leaf, or it was in English and French. So I got some syrup, your maple syrup, your famous maple syrup.
Right.
It was gone in 2 weeks here. So and other things that I got at the supermarket. But what is the product that it's the most that you know people recognize from Canada? What you can tell me about it?
What's the signature Canadian product?
Mm-hmm.
Well, certainly maple syrup is definitely a big one. Gosh, now that's a tricky one, because outside of maple syrup, what else do we have?
I do have two answers. I do have two answers.
So, you know, one of the other ones, and I'm not sure how recognized it is in Latin America, but certainly Canadian bacon. Canadian bacon is another one. And then, you know, another staple of Canadians that you won't find in a grocery store, but it is a staple elsewhere, is a donut, and it's Tim Hortons donut and coffee, you know. So it's like, I know, it's a staple. I didn't
try that.
And the other thing, also not in a supermarket, but which is a delicacy, is beaver tails. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I am surprised that you didn't mention poutine.
Oh, poutine, mais oui, bien sûr. My French friends, I'm sorry that I forgot about poutine. It's because poutine's been banned from my diet because it's so good and it's just so bad for my waistline. So I've stopped eating poutine, but it is heavenly. So if you get a chance to eat poutine,
let me tell you one thing, and I find couple things. These three things: the syrup, the poutine, and the Canadian flag. They have a lot of relation with Peru. Your maple syrup is close to a syrup that we make also here in Peru, but it's different. It's not coming from the same tree. It's called chancaca syrup. That's one thing that we use for this kind of fried donuts. That's amazing. Second, the poutine is actually very close to what we do in Peru that is called salchipapa. That is French fries with sausage. But instead of the gravy, we put all the sauces such mustard, ketchup, mayonnaise, chili sauce. So it looks similar. It's the salchipapa. And the third thing that makes us quite close, it's our flag. The Peruvian flag and the Canadian flag, except for the maple leaf, they are red, white, and red.
See, I
so
guess
you see
the bond is there, right?
Yeah.
And you're right. I remember and sorry, I won't be able to pronounce it, but your version of or similar to our poutine. I've had it before when I was in Peru many years ago, and you're right. It is good. It's really good.
Salchipapa.
So. Okay.
Yes, I got you in that question. I like to do these questions.
You did get me. You got me.
Darrell, it was a pleasure to have you in the event. Thank you so much for not just open the mind for people to know what it's a chamber of commerce and what do you do for our community, We'll also open, to these fun questions. But before you go, what's your advice for those entrepreneurs out there?
I think for all entrepreneurs and for LGBT entrepreneurs, I would say, be proud, don't be afraid, don't hold back. We did a national research study this past year, and some of the findings were actually quite disturbing to me. Like we found that over 50% of LGBT business owners hid the fact that they were gay. Over a third have faced discrimination. Over 25% have lost contracts because they're gay. I think that there's a lot of fear that still resides in LGBT entrepreneurs, and we are here. Our chamber here in Canada and the chambers around the world are there to support you and to connect you with amazing corporate partners that are wanting to do business with you. So, stand up, work with your local chamber of commerce, get involved with them, let them help you grow and help you be successful, because the stronger that we are, the more that we come together, the stronger we are. So I guess that would be my advice.
Thank you so much. That's a great advice. They have to be involved. If we are not involved and we are not visible, we are not going to actually show what it's actually to be part of the LGBTQ plus and all the letters community.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Darrell, again. It was a pleasure to have you here.
No, it was great, and thank you so much. Always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yes, for sure. The next conference, I'm going to be there for sure.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you. And for the ones that are following our event, we continue with Entrepreneurs LGBTQ International.